in this day and this hour and this very moment, I put my trust and my faith in you. What is going on, you guys? I'm going to jump right into this. We're going to pull up some affirmations and we're going to start us off with some deep breaths. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. This has a lot to do with community. This is a collective reading, you guys. Sagittarius season. There's a lot to talk about. I have a lot of notes here. There's a lot of energy coming through. This is about community. This is about knowledge we've gained. This is about being an influence and a good influence to our community. This has been about thinking big. Perhaps for some of us, that's where we're at. Okay. To think big. You have so much more room to fill. This is the big space. This is the big mindset that you now have put yourself in. That now Sagittarius season is really pushing us to think bigger, right? You are now this giant taking big steps, one big step at a time. Our focus here, collective, okay, I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. I'm following the rhythm here, you guys. The focus here and the main focus here is what is true. And coming back to feeling more of yourself. What is true. Even finding the true and the lies. Finding the true and deception. This is having us focus on what to prioritize about yourself. It literally has nothing to do with anybody. Sagittarius season is, in fact, true. Sagittarius's power and energy is, in fact, true. Therefore, this is what this season is bringing to all of us. Very influential, community-based. A lot of us are finding our community where we fit in, where we feel most like ourselves. This is the main focus, the true. It is finding hope in the restless. It is finding hope in the hopeless. It is finding hope in the spiritless. And this is important for a lot of us. I'm getting that economically, things have shifted. So now we are being asked to live out our gifts. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. It is so hard sometimes to look to a community. It is so hard sometimes to depend so much on our government, if you will. Because at times when we really, really need the government and depend on when we're depending on them, and things can go wrong, things can change at any moment. In that moment, where do we look to and who do we look to, right? We have been depending on the government. We have been depending on our leaders for a long time, for quite some time. Okay, I'm following the rhythm here. And a lot of us have been in a place where you're not really seeing the progression and the help from our government, right? It's like literally what I just said about you now having to take that big step. You now having to find yourself and taking that leap of faith. That's powerful. And that's also a push for our collective. That's a push. That's a big push for our collective right now. And I think this is where, you know, I remind us that Sagittarius season is to be honored so much. Because I feel like what Sagittarius is bringing to us, you guys, is like this powerful impact that we can either see it in an optimistic way or seeing it as something to fear. We're almost at the end of the year, and we are literally in a place where we are reflecting back on the things and the hard work that we've put in this year, right? And now we're looking at our life and going, what do I have enough of? This is you looking at your life, reflecting back on what you've done, everything, the inner work. When I speak of work, okay, I speak of inner work because that's the real work, I believe. So now we've come to a place now we're reflecting on ourselves, right? You guys, what do I have enough of? And this can mean, what do I have enough of in material? What do I have enough of in spiritual? Have I gained enough for myself spiritually? Have I gained enough materially, right? But right now you're thinking to yourself which to prioritize, which is important. And you're also reflecting back on your life and what you've done this whole year. And you're thinking to yourself, is this 100% complete and balanced? And what areas in my life that needs improvement and that needs more balance? This is where we find ourselves to be in a predicament for some of us. Okay, I'm getting this heavily. That while you're sitting with yourself and you're going and you're reflecting, what do I have enough of? And you're thinking to yourself, I don't even know if I have enough of this. I don't even know if I have enough of this. Okay, I'm looking at our notes and that's what I had written down. What do we have enough of? Because you can be looking at your life and going, I have so much in material, but what do I lack? What else in my life do I lack? And what area in my life do I lack? Because you can be looking at your life and going, I have so much of this material, like materialistic, you have so much. Right? For some, you have gained a lot of wisdom. And now you're going, is this enough for me? What can I do with this? It's literally doing your cleaning, your cleansing, and you're detecting every area of your life and you're going, is this complete and balanced? Is this complete and balanced? Is this complete and balanced? Do I need more balance in this area in my life? Do I need to complete this part of my life? You know, it's questions like that we're asking ourselves now in Sagittarius season. And it comes with a lot of energy. It's literally pushing you to be good and to do good. It's literally pushing us to literally look within ourselves and looking at the ugly. Sagittarius is literally pushing out toxins and replacing it with good and grace and love and a lot of it. And it is also pushing us to practice spirituality. Perhaps this is the part where some of us get uncomfortable because spiritually you feel like you haven't gained anything. Maybe you have been around people who have been influencing you and leading you and maybe even misleading you to take directions that you probably did not feel okay with. At first, you thought to yourself that that was a great idea. But perhaps now you've put yourself in self-deception. It is not of true, you see, because you were influenced to do something you didn't really want to do. You were also influenced to think something that it didn't really come from you. It came from somebody else, and you just got influenced, and now you're thinking this way. And you're thinking to yourself, is this the mindset I actually want to stay in? That's powerful. You know, it comes to a point where we ask ourselves, what makes your life so rich? And what is your definition of rich? There are a lot of authenticity out there now. We are all living a very unique life. So to us, our definition of rich, our definition of success, that all looks different for all of us. Yeah? So one now, 1111, could be living a life, married, and you have kids. This is something that you've always wanted for yourself. And now you're here. Happy, complete. You feel complete. You feel balanced. But there's always something there that is missing. And for some, I'm getting that it could be your own self-care. Right? Okay, now I've accomplished a lot and providing for my family. So now what do I need to do for myself? Okay, some of you guys are asking that question. What do I have enough of? And I keep coming back to that. Now that I've completed this part of my life, and now I feel like this part of my life is completely balanced, now what do I do for myself? It's like you've done your job, you've accomplished something, you've provided, right? And I feel like this is like where, because this is a Sagittarius's energy. Now I have provided. Now I have done my deeds. Now I've spoken my wisdom. Now I've given my insights. Now what do I do for me? I've completed all of my tasks for today at work. I feel accomplished because now I feel like I've completed something, and I've given something to somebody that they really need. And to some, you guys, you're really helping the community. You're really making an impact in somebody's life right now. I'm speaking to somebody heavily here when I say this. You have literally made an impact in somebody's life. That's an accomplishment. To some, they may not see that as an accomplishment, right? But to somebody, it means the whole world to you, because your whole life you've been practicing in counseling. You've been practicing in healing. You've always known yourself to be a healer. A Sagittarius's energy is a healer. Somebody who makes a great impact in our community. A Sagittarius's energy is somebody who gives. And it makes a very great impact, a big impact. Sagittarius is big. Sagittarius's energy is big. Sagittarius's lens is big, aware, and wide. They push for something, they want to accomplish something, they get it accomplished. They get it done. This is what our community is doing right now. This is what we are doing for one another in the community right now. Okay, take that as it resonates. You are that giant to somebody. You are that influence to somebody. You are that big influence to somebody's life. So it comes to a point where, okay, I've done my job. I've provided. I've given my service. And now you're going back to yourself and you're going, what can I do for me? What have I actually done for me this time around? This area of my life is complete and balanced. This area of my life is complete and balanced. So now you're going back to yourself and you're going, what can I do for me? All right, there's something very significant, you guys. I was going to pray, but I didn't pray. I'm going to do that right now. I'm sorry. Just went into this really fast. I'm going to drink some water really quick. We are at a time right now where things has become detrimental or it has improved. Either you're at a place where you're feeling all this complacency and, there's a lot of questions. There's some things that you feel like needs more work, or you're at a point where you're going, there's a lot of improvement here. There's a lot of awareness here. I've completed something here. Things feel balanced now, but now what do I do for me? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say a prayer really quick. Heavenly Father, you are a shield around us, strong in love and heavy with power, shaped with hope and gilded with truth. We will fear no evil, for you watch over us, defend us, deliver us. And in this day, in this hour, in this very moment, we put our trust and our faith in you always. In Jesus' name. You are finding yourself, amen. You are finding yourself either in self-deception or you're in self-love. It's come to that point, you guys, because this whole year, okay, this is what I'm getting. This is the energy that's coming up. This whole year, it has been I'm getting a questionable place to be in, okay? It has been about finding hope in the restless. It has been about finding hope in the hopeless. So now in this season, you're going to yourself, am I being true with myself, or do I need more improvement? Am I being true to myself, or am I not being true to myself? You are now seeing that from a bigger perspective, because you may also be around people who is shedding light on your lives. You may be around people right now, and you're surrounded by people who is shedding, without you even knowing it right away, and without them even knowing it right away, but their energy is shedding light on your lies, shedding light on our false. You may be around somebody in your life right now, or you are the one shedding light in people. You are the one shedding light in people's false and the false that they have been holding on to. You are that person. You are that hope in somebody's restless. That's powerful. You are that hope in somebody else's hopeless. And you are that hope in somebody who is spiritless. Now, they may know this. They may know that, they're very honest about them being spiritless. They know this. They just can't get themselves to be at a point where they feel a lot of that hope and a lot of that faith. When I say that a Sagittarius' energy is filled with spirit, it is filled with so much spirit that it threatens this world. Because for some reason, we're scared of the giant. For some of us, we're scared of the giant. But you be walking around this place acting like you're the giant. But it's false. It's your pride. It is your ego. It isn't your spirit. You may think that you are in a very spiritual place, but when there's still unease and there is still pain and there is still a grudge, when there is a feeling of uncomfortability, dishonesty, unwholesomeness, one is not standing in spirit. One is not provided and supported by spirit. You've completely lost yourself. I'm speaking to some of us here when I say this, okay? Some of us are feeling hopeless and restless, deprived. And that is because you're not holding on to truth. Facts. That when one is feeling deprived and one is feeling hopeless, it is because you're not holding on to enough truth. You may not be one right now honoring your truth. You gotta plan, you gotta plot, you gotta deceive, you gotta manipulate to get your way for your own gain. You're not supported by spirit when you're going about life doing this. Somebody literally has taken over you and now controlling you. And no, it's not God. That sounds to me, that's self-deception. You have let this world take control over your own mind. Somebody who holds on to wisdom. Somebody who holds on to discipline. Ooh, this is powerful. Somebody who is holding on to patience. You're supported by spirit. You are, in fact, in discipline, and a lot of it. This is what makes life rich. Okay, I want to share something with you guys. It's a conversation between a poor man and a rich man. Okay. It's a conversation between a poor man and a rich man. This poor man is expressing himself to this rich man, right? The way, just exactly the way he is naturally. And this rich man is looking at this poor man and going, wow, do you realize how much you have? This rich man is in awe. This rich man is thinking to themselves, how can a poor man with such little, how can a poor man with little material, barely have anything in material, how can a poor man like this, who speaks with so much wisdom, lives in a place like this with nothing, but they hold on to so much passion and wisdom? How can a poor man live a life like this when they're so rich inside? Right? A poor man is expressing themselves to this rich man. And so now it's the rich man's turn to express themselves. Now this poor man is listening to the rich man, and the rich man is expressing themselves. Right? And this poor man is listening to this rich man, and this poor man is going, how can a rich man with so much money, who holds on to a lot of prosperity, right? How can a rich man with that much money live such a poor life? It's the paradox. It is seeing your life through somebody else's life and then going, light bulb, why am I not using my resources the way I should? And why have I been using this the wrong way this whole time? It's a paradox, right? A rich man can have so much money, but could be using it for the wrong reasons. This is what the poor man is thinking. I'm listening to this rich man express himself, and he's telling me he's got all of this money, but he's unhappy. How can one be unhappy when one has so much money? The paradox. How can a rich man have so much money and be unhappy? This is what the poor man is saying. And this rich man is going, how can a poor man live this way when they have so much wisdom? It's the paradox. It literally is appreciating our life for what it is. And Sagittarius is bringing about that change in our perception. What to focus on and what to prioritize, and focusing in what is true. Perhaps what is true is what is going to make your life rich. And then depending on how you react to that, depending on how you're using that, either you gain from or you don't. Either you are one right now gaining a lot of it, or you're just passing it on to everybody else and giving your power away, leaving you with absolutely nothing. I'm following the rhythm here, you guys. Now that we have come to this place, this world that we live in now, our community is changing. Economically, we're changing, we're shifting. It has become a very power-oriented place. That even in our conversations, there's a power struggle. Even in exchanging energies, there's a power struggle. That is the place we live in. And I feel like that's something we need to be aware of. Because if we don't, the influence that we bring to each other is also shifting. The influence that we're bringing each other either is coming from false information or true essence. Because self-deception equals false and self-love equals true essence. So when we are in our mind, okay, when we are in self-deception, what you bring to this place is false, and what you are also attracting is false. When we put ourselves in the energy of self-love, that comes with a lot, and it just keeps pouring out, abundant, right? This is true information. These are facts. These are prophecies, sources coming from us, because we are it. So when we place ourselves in self-deception, imagine what that conversation sounds like. Imagine what that world is in that moment, feels like. When you're speaking and operating from self-deception, nothing of that holds quality. Does that make sense? When we're in the energy of self-love, it's a never-ending stream of abundance because it comes from what is true. Remember, the focus here is the true. The focus is what is true in Sagittarius season. The focus is the hope and the restless, the hope and the hopeless, the hope and the spiritless. So when you think of yourself right now and you're looking at your life and you're going, I have so much in material, but how about where you are spiritually? I feel like this is what Sagittarius wants us. I feel like this is what Sagittarius season is teaching us. And it's like, I'm getting like, it has become so harsh. It's like tough love on us. It's tough love on all of us. We're being pushed to experience tough love on all of us. This is the harsh truth of the discipline in Sagittarius season. That one is going, I have so much awareness that I can see right through your deception. And I don't know how to tell you without sounding like an asshole that you're deceiving yourself. But I know I have the awareness that you're deceiving yourself. I know I have the awareness that you're not in the right place with yourself. That's the tough love that Sagittarius is bringing to us. So right now, Spirit is literally bringing people in your life to teach you a lesson, and you're rejecting it. Either you're rejecting it or you're very accepting of it, and you're going to yourself, yes, this is the help I need. This has been the help that I've been needing this whole time. Thank you. Or you're going, ugh, this is triggering me, and this person needs to go. But Spirit brought that person in your life for a reason. And you're so oblivious to it. You're not even paying attention to it. That you too are ignoring the lessons that is for you and only for you. Sometimes Spirit also removes us from people's lives so that they can learn their own lessons, so that we don't get in the way of their lessons and not doing it for them. Does that make sense? That we can only do so much for somebody, that it comes to a point where Spirit is going to remove us from this person so this person can learn their lessons on their own, in their own terms. It's become that place for all of us right now. And I think that's why I'm reminded to tell us, a lot of us are feeling alone right now. A lot of us are going through loneliness right now because this is the start of our discipline. This is reminding us that we can literally be bigger than what we think we are. At where you are with yourself right now, you may think, no, this is enough and this is actually big. And Spirit is going, well, watch me show you more. Watch me change your life. Watch me bring so much more in your life. Because you may think that this is enough, and you may think that this is big enough and good enough, but watch me bring more into your life. Because remember, Spirit wants us to have everything. Everything. It's like some of us don't even have the option to neglect whatever it is that you're neglecting about yourself. Some of us don't even have that option anymore. You can't neglect yourself anymore. 333. 3333. I'm going to turn on the light because it's getting dark. 1 second. I don't know if that's enough. Okay. We don't even have the option to neglect ourselves anymore, you guys. It's that time where it's time to really shift your mindset here because it's not working out anymore. This is the impact Sagittarius season is bringing to us collectively. And it's harsh for a lot of us. It really is, because it comes with discipline. And we've gone way far from, we've disconnected ourselves from discipline. I'm laughing because it's fucking sad. Okay. And for a lot of us who adheres to his voice, a lot of us who follows instructions, you know what it means to have that awareness and to see everybody like failing. And then you're stepping in and you're wanting to help and you're wanting to provide because you know you have enough to give and you have enough for yourself. But this person is ignoring your help. This person is literally ignoring your help. That was their chance, their opportunity to take your help and to help themselves, but they're not doing that. Family is so significant in this season, going into the holidays. You can't ignore them. You can't even get away from them. I think for some of us, that's exactly what we're doing. Or staying away from family. That's exactly what you're doing. Also because you're so used to it. Every year, in this season, during the holidays, you've gotten used to not speaking to your family. You've gotten used to not speaking to your parents. You've gotten used to not celebrating. Your family is not the person to celebrate with. Your family are not the ones to celebrate with. Okay, that's what I'm getting here. And you now are finding yourself to be in that place again. And you're going, oh, here we go again. The holidays is here, family, whatever, right? That mindset is also changing. I'm getting that it is in our will to change what needs to change. It is in our will to change what needs to change. I'm also getting, you guys, oh my gosh, I'm also getting like, if you know you see something and it's not right, speak up and say something about it. You maybe, I feel like I'm speaking to somebody who's been silenced. You're never one to initiate, to express. You're never one to speak first. And so this time around, you are being asked to speak up, like loud and clear and bold. Because perhaps we need you. You might have been that person to somebody. You just didn't speak at all. And you weren't allowed to. Like you always felt like you weren't allowed to speak, right? This time around, Spirit is like literally tapping you on the shoulder and going, just do it. Just speak up. Just speak up. This is your opportunity to speak up because we need your voice. Because we need your self-esteem. We need your confidence. So you might have been this person, who didn't speak very much. You didn't know how to use your voice. You didn't know how to express yourself. And I'm getting that this is your chance, your opportunity. I'm speaking to somebody here when I say this. This is your chance, your opportunity to speak up and speak your truth and honestly and head on. Like it's literally asking of you to not care so much of what people think, but to just speak up and speak your truth because you can't lie to yourself anymore. That's being removed. If you're out here living a lie, that's being removed. That's being fixed. Does that make sense? Even your lies are now being revealed. You keep lying to yourself, but the lies are revealing itself now. The truth cannot hide from us for that long. You might have been in an abusive relationship for years and you never spoke about it. You've never ever spoken about it. You've never said anything. You've never expressed to anybody about it. But Mother Nature is going to speak for you eventually. Does that make sense? We go through these seasons for a reason because these seasons bring what needs to be revealed. And perhaps Sagittarius season is going, you have been living a lie and you've been doing this to yourself and this cannot be no more. You can continue on living a lie, but the lies is going to catch up to you. And it's going to be even harder for some of us to untangle ourselves from the lies and the deception. But you've placed yourself in deception, and you've been in deception for so long that that's all you know what to do, is to deceive. That's sad. So now Sagittarius is going, we see your lies, because their lens is big and wide. And their lens is of truth. It's not of deception. A Sagittarius's lens is of truth. This is what is so threatening to some of us, and it's only threatening because you've been living a lie. And you're scared to live the truth because you've never lived the truth before. That's scary. So now Sagittarius is going, we see right through your deception and we see right through your lies. You cannot hide from us anymore. We're literally removing that because you see that is not what is going to give us. That is not what is going to influence. That is not a good influence, you see? You staying in deception means you're deceiving us too. And you are now getting everybody involved. You're spreading this like a virus. Our awareness is sharp. A Sagittarius's awareness is so sharp that they see right through deception. So when you are being faced with deception and you see right through people's bullshit, that is your opportunity to speak up wisdom or to walk away. That is your opportunity to make a difference in somebody's mindset or to leave it be and walk away. By you walking away and leaving it be, you're telling yourself you're okay. You're okay with this behavior when it's not an okay behavior. It's tough, right? Because how do you tell somebody you're about to hit a wall without telling somebody how to do their life? But you see them about to like die. So how do you tell somebody, how do you help somebody without, forcing it, without making them feel like this is being forced on them? But you see, I feel like that's what Sagittarius is doing. It may be to a point of screaming truth to push out deception, screaming truth in all of us to push out what is not sustainable, what is deceiving, what is false. Sagittarius is so true, like a diamond. You can see right through it. Like, it literally kills the not true. Sagittarius's energy is so true that it literally kills the false. It's like you can't help but to be true. You ever notice that when you're around a Sagittarius, you can't help but to be true? So if you are one out here and you're around a Sagittarius and you're lying to yourself, and you know you're lying to yourself, a Sagittarius is going to bring out the true in you. And it's going to feel so uncomfortable to a point where you start questioning yourself. It's just like how a Virgo brings such a big perspective on somebody that it can literally shift somebody's perspective. A Virgo hold on to so much rich insight that it can literally shift somebody's mindset and sometimes changing their life. As Sagittarius's energy is going to make that impact in somebody who is lying. These people cannot lie to you anymore. These people cannot bring lies to you anymore. 4444 when I said that. So when you have somebody in your life right now and they're lying to you and they're lying about themselves, you're going to see right through them, and you're going to see right through that lie. And you're going to have this tendency to change them, to help them. Maybe not taking the action of actually changing them, but your energy is going to shift something inside of them. And that's what I mean by Sagittarius's energy can really make this heavy impact in somebody's life. They can't help but to be true around you. It literally gets rid of the lies and it gets rid of the deception. There is something very significant about patience in this season. This is what is teaching us to be easy with ourselves and understanding the deception in us. The deception is in all of us. It is a choice to stay in it or to not stay in it. Does that make sense? The deception has been put in all of us, in our minds. It is a choice to get yourself out of it or to not get yourself out of it. You staying in it is also a choice. We're getting rid of the deception. Sagittarius is only helping us to literally holding our hand to take us back home. That's what Sagittarius season is doing. And that's why some of us are finding ourselves to do a lot of this and a lot of it. A lot of grieving and a lot of mourning. It's a good sign though. It's a good sign that when you cry, you're shedding your old self. When you cry, you're shedding a big part of you that can't stay there anymore. When one has let out this big cry, you are also doing yourself some good and bringing yourself back to balance. Honestly, crying and shedding tears shows you still have hope. When somebody is crying, that is to be acknowledged in an optimistic way. When somebody is crying, we are to give them space to do that. It's opening them up to a bigger space. It is getting rid of the weight and then replacing it with so much more grace. We are actually doing ourselves some good, and only good. We have become so unaware because this place is unaware. But like I said, it is finding hope in the restless. It is finding hope in the hopeless. It is finding hope in the spiritless. And this is where I'm reminded to tell us to look into Proverbs 1 verse 33. And to also go back to Proverbs and to read all Proverbs, okay? To stick to Proverbs, to go back to it. I think this is what is going to give us the comfort in times when we don't feel the comfort. There is also something very significant about our crown chakra. Okay, this is associated with the color purple. I'm hearing that some of you guys just painted your nails purple. That's funny. The number 10 is also significant. Owl is significant. Star. Something very significant about a ring. Okay. The color red, a butterfly, and bees is also significant. We are stepping into a new era where we are finding ourselves to be the new ancestors to our future generations. That we have become the community for our children, for our youth. We are now in a new era and we're looking at everything in a brand new lens. And we now have to come into an understanding that we are our new ancestors to our new generations to come. We have now been placed playing a role in taking this big responsibility of providing for our future generations. We are in this new era as the new ancestor. I am reminded to tell us that the deception needs to go, because that is not what is to be passed on to our future generation. Deception is to be put away. Self-love is to be honored, because that is what is to be passed on to the rest of us and to our children. This whole year, we have gained insights. We have been practicing on self-soothing, self-loving, self-knowing. This whole year, we have been disciplined to take action in getting rid of our trauma. This year, we have been disciplined to honor our self-awareness. And there's an even bigger reason for all of that discipline. And that is because we are being taught to be our, not just taking on this role of being the new ancestor, but also it is unraveling so much about our individualism, our authenticity, that we are to provide for all of us, to each other. Perhaps authenticity has also been berated. Our sense of authenticity has been berated. It has been deceived, gaslighted. But that is also something that we have been practicing and healing from this year. Finding yourself at the end of it. I said number 10 is significant. I have the 10 of Swords. This is like finding ourselves in the end, and an acceptance of you. An acceptance of you. And so right now, for some of us, this is what I'm getting in this season. You're finding yourself to be more in acceptance of yourself. And literally in acceptance of your whole being and even your lifestyle. I feel like there is something very powerful in accepting, in acceptance itself. Does that make sense? That 10 of Swords comes with a lot of self-acceptance. Because in accepting, you open yourself up to so much more, whatever that means for you in your life. This 10 of Swords tells me that we have expressed, we have cried, we have achieved, persevered. This 10 of Swords tells us we have surrendered. And now back to being more in order. You accepted something about yourself. And now life is presenting to you a brand new life that you can have, that you're either neglecting or accepting. This also tells us that we are now accepting of our psychic abilities, and we're not hiding from it anymore. We're not hiding from our psychic abilities anymore. We are accepting of it. We are accepting of ourselves, mostly. We've come to a point of realizing this is who I am, and I accept me for who I am. 5-5, 5-5 when I said that. For some, you're in a place right now with yourself where you are now starting to accept you're ugly, and then so much more is unraveling for you. And you're just going, I accept, I accept, I accept, I accept, I accept. I don't accept, but I know I have to accept. You're finding yourself to be going, I have been in denial about this. I too am to accept this. And then there's a shift that just happened. When we accept, everything comes to you. You don't have to try so hard. When we accept, there's no lies. There's no deception. There's not even manipulation. When we accept, we let go of the control. And we are actually receiving so much more love. It's like, it's just being poured out to us. Because your mindset is, I accept, right? Holding on to that mantra, I accept. Therefore, anything that comes to me is for me. And I know it's for me. It's meant to be for me. I accept, therefore, everything that is to come to me is already mine. I accept me, therefore, everything that I am receiving and the blessings that is coming to me is for me. Even new people. Because at one point you went, God, please bring new people, amazing people in my life. Please lead me to a great community. God, please help me in times when you did a lot of this. You prayed to God and you asked, God, please help me. Please bring me to the people who's going to see me and hear me for me. When I accept, everything after that just keeps going and overflowing. Does that make sense? I accept, therefore, anything that comes my way, anything about me, I can just receive without hesitation. You now have become this like home for everybody too. When you accept yourself fully and complete, everybody sees that and they can feel that. And that is a very attractive energy. So that's what I mean, that things is just going to come to you effortlessly because I accept me. And because I accept me, whatever is to come my way is attracted to me. And it was already mine. It was already mine. I just needed to accept me. Shit. I want to pull up a spirit animal before we wrap this up, you guys. Thank you guys for being patient with me. And if you've gone this far, I love you so much. And thank you for being patient with me. If you would like a mini reading, I am available to do mini readings right now. All of my information will be in the description box. Okay. I'm going to pull up a spirit animal. Give me 1 second. I'm getting that ideas is flowing right now for a lot of us. We're in this place of play and to continue on in that play. Okay. Sagittarius makes me feel like I can conquer the world. Sagittarius makes me feel like I'm a giant. But I know I have to step back, couple steps back. That when I do feel like a giant around people who doesn't feel like a giant, I know I have to step back a little bit. For some of us who feel the need to do that, for some of us who feel the need to adjust yourself because you know you have a great big energy around people who doesn't honor their energy, you know you have to step back a few steps because you're too much. And you are. You're too much to people. You have such great energy and you hold on to great energy. You hold on to truth that your aura, your energy literally scares people. And you know you have to adjust yourself. You have to step back a little bit. And perhaps I'm speaking to somebody here who is separated from the rest when I say that. You're chosen. You can't help it. You just are. You have literally reprogrammed yourself that way. And that's why you are chosen. It's not your fault that you have such big, great energy. It's not your fault. You had to be. You have to be. Do you know what I mean when I say that? You have to be. You are literally this visionary. You are literally the future visionary. You have literally risen. You always rise to the occasion and people are like, why do you always do that? Why don't you let me do that this time? And you're like, I literally didn't even do nothing. I'm just standing here. Okay? Rise above earthly matters. Glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self-worth and love with a big heart. You do have a big heart. That's why you got to step back. Because our place, this place we live in is weird. Because having a big heart in this place, you're looked at differently. And when you're standing tall in your self-worth and you're standing tall in your confidence, you got to step back a little bit. It's like it's a time for you to assert yourself, you know? And if you're that considerate and you're that nice, you know what it means to adjust yourself around people who don't honor their self-worth. A Sagittarius honors their self-worth. Trust. And they stand tall in it. That's what makes them a giant. A Sagittarius is one not to suppress their self-worth. A Sagittarius is one who went through shit and turned that shit into gold without harming anybody. And if they ever caused pain in anyone, they own up to it. They don't got time for deception. The fuck? A Sagittarius is one who is confident in their power. And they have become confident in their power because they've done a lot for people. Because they have done a lot to this community. When one is standing in their confidence and in their power, and you can tell when one is standing in their confidence, it's because they went through a lot to get to that point. Much like anybody who's holding on to strong confidence. You know? Self-confidence comes from hard inner work. Self-confidence comes from energy work. Literally turning the bad into good and turning the evil into good. So when you see somebody who's so confident in who they are, and even in the things they say, you can just tell, it's because they've experienced a lot of bad. Imagine our healers today, who is also our new ancestors. They went through a lot of trouble in their life, in their past. A healer does not become a healer just because. A healer becomes a healer because something happened to them. They experienced something and they turn that into something. Somebody who stands tall in their self-worth, they too have been abused. They too have had to sacrifice and make sacrifices for people. One who stands tall in their self-worth, it came with a lot of hard work, inner work, energy work, shadow work, especially shadow work. A Sagittarius is one to take heed on their shadow. A Sagittarius is one to take heed in balance and fear in oneself. Perhaps a Sagittarius is one who is fearless because at one point in their life, they were so much in fear that they didn't know what to do with themselves. And they had to figure it out. But it is also very uncomfortable to a Sagittarius to be holding on to fear. And it's also very uncomfortable for a Sagittarius to be looking at people who is in fear. Imagine that. When you see somebody who is in fear, your natural reaction to that is, I need to help this person. I need to somehow, at least give this person some wisdom, I don't know, so that they can get themselves out of the fear. Perhaps a Sagittarius is somebody who is fearless. Somebody who is so fearless that literally nothing in this world can ever threaten them. Do you hear me? And they don't have to deny that. They will tell you up front. They will tell you the truth, their truth, and how they got to where they are today. Perhaps the Sagittarius is also one who holds on to a vision in their mind that to them, anything is possible. This can happen. I am inspired and I'm going to accomplish this. And they do. And they almost always do. And this is what makes a Sagittarius's energy so influential to the rest of us in our community. Because when one holds on to so much truth, you can't get your eyes off of them, right? You become inspired. You can tell when somebody is holding on to a lot of truth and who is speaking from confidence, standing in their truth. A visionary, somebody who's placed something in their mind. I'm gonna accomplish this. You are a visionary. I'm going to accomplish this, and it's going to be done. It's going to get done. It has been done. I love you guys so freaking much. I swear to Spirit. Thank you for tuning in for another reading. My name is Kimber, and I'm sending you guys so much love and support to you and your family. Happy holidays. I'll see you guys in the next. Love and peace. Take care. Bye.